And magnetic fields are all entangled in there. And during solar maximum, the magnetic fields become so entangled, they bust out. Nice. And when they bust out, the particles of the plasma like hanging on to that magnetic field, but they get flung into space.
That our society as we know it is potentially endangered. We are sitting ducks.
The approaching surge in solar activity, expected around 2024 to 2025, brings with it a heightened risk of solar storms impacting Earth. Let's dive into the dynamics of solar flares, coronal mass ejections, CMEs, and geomagnetic disturbances. We aim to comprehensively explore the potential dangers posed by solar storms and the measures being taken to mitigate their impact. Solar flares are sudden eruptions of intense radiation and energy from the sun's surface, often accompanied by bursts of charged particles. These flares can be triggered by the rapid release of magnetic energy in the sun's atmosphere. When a solar flare is accompanied by a CME, a massive expulsion of plasma and magnetic fields from the sun's corona, it can lead to geomagnetic storms on Earth. Solar activity follows an approximately 11-year cycle with periods of increased activity known as solar maximums. The upcoming peak around 2024 to 2025 is expected to bring a higher frequency of solar flares and CMEs. The potential for Earth to be impacted by these solar storms increases during solar maximums, necessitating heightened vigilance and preparedness. It doesn't mean these things will happen, but just that it could happen. So here are some potential impacts of solar storms on Earth. Let's start with geomagnetic disturbances. Geomagnetic storms occur when the charged particles from a CME interact with Earth's magnetic field. These disturbances can induce electric currents in the Earth's atmosphere and ground, affecting power grids, pipelines, and communication networks. In extreme cases, transformers can be damaged, leading to widespread power outages that may take weeks or even months to rectify. Next is satellite disruptions. Solar storms can interfere with satellite operations, disrupting GPS navigation, communication systems, and satellite imagery. This disruption can impact various sectors, including telecommunications, transportation, and weather forecasting. We also have to consider radiation hazards. Elevated levels of solar radiation during solar storms pose risks to astronauts in space and passengers on high-altitude flights. Increased radiation exposure can lead to health concerns, such as radiation sickness and increased cancer risks, emphasizing the need for protective measures during solar events. And lately, you may have seen or heard of auroral displays. While not directly harmful, geomagnetic storms can lead to spectacular auroras, luminous displays of light in the Earth's polar regions. While captivating to witness, these auroras are a visual indicator of the increased energy in Earth's magnetosphere during solar storms. We'll get more into auroras in another video. They are marvelously terrifying in their own right. But for now, let's talk about mitigation and preparedness efforts. To mitigate the potential impacts of solar storms, a range of proactive measures is being implemented. Advanced space weather monitoring systems have been enhanced to provide real-time data on solar activity, enabling early warnings of geomagnetic storms. Power utilities are also focusing on improving grid resilience through initiatives such as transformer upgrades and the implementation of grid stabilization technologies. Additionally, satellite operators are actively developing strategies to protect spacecraft from radiation and minimize the effects of solar storms on satellite operations. These collective efforts aim to enhance our ability to forecast, prepare for, and respond to the challenges posed by increased solar activity, ensuring the resilience of critical infrastructure and technologies in the face of cosmic disturbances. The looming increase in solar activity in 2024 to 2025 underscores the importance of understanding and preparing for the potential dangers of solar storms. By exploring solar flares, CMEs, geomagnetic disturbances, and their impacts on Earth, we gain valuable insights into the challenges posed by increased solar activity.